Bloody Sunday, March 7, 1965, my dad, who was very much involved in the civil rights movement at that time, we're from Marion, Alabama, the home of Coretta Scott King. And so my dad kind of thought he was Martin Luther King's sidekick. And he wanted to make sure that he was involved as much as possible, to the extent possible, by involving his children. He put us in the pickup truck, my sister here with me, Margaret, and our brother, Eugene, and drove us here to Selma so we could participate in the march that morning. We marched from Zion to the foot of the bridge, and they had instructed us to walk there. We sung songs, the civil rights songs. And when we would get to the bridge, if they ordered us not to demonstrate, to go back to the church where we came from, and that's what they did do, they had told us, our people, to kneel and pray. And that's what we did.
Some of us made it nearly to the top of the bridge. Some of them were still at the foot of the bridge, never got a chance to come up.
Melee broke out, of course, with men on horseback, and then tear gas and whips, and the beating started.
And tear gas started billowing in the air, and of course everybody at that point, the leaders told us to head back to Brown Chapel Church, and everybody jumped up in a run. And some people was trampled, some was overcome by tear gas, and some was maybe knocked down by a police horse.
People were injured and some hospitalized, 17. I'm one of those 17 that was injured.
And when we made it back to Brown Chapel Church, my brother and I, we didn't see Jeanette at the time. So we knew that something must have happened.
My injury was a head injury, not so severe that I can't sit here and talk to you now, but I don't know how I got back from the bridge to the church, then to the hospital. I have no idea who took me there, how I got there. I spring forward from what happened to me. It gave me character that I don't think I would have had. It gives me the insight to look into people, not just a particular group of people, because there were all kinds of people on the bridge with us. And I think the foresight that I have because of my involvement in the movement made me the person that I am today. We were completely involved from the beginning in Marion, and that's where my t-shirt says now, Marion is where it began, and it is for us.
We were marching from the church to the jail to get James Orange out when this all broke out. And then they had a meeting the night after that, and that's when all the street lights was turned out, and Jimmy Lee Jackson's grandfather was being beaten in the street, and he saw it, so he was begging them not to kill his grandfather. Then one of the sheriff or state trooper, I can remember him walking up and putting a gun to Jimmy Lee Jackson's rib cage. We were all standing there. We were in like eye length of what happened when he pulled the trigger and shot him. And when he shot him, everybody just, started running, trying to take cover. It was dark that night, and it was a real melee there. Then when Jimmy Lee Jackson died, Martin Luther King wanted to take the coffin of Jimmy Lee Jackson to Montgomery and set it on the Capitol step. And that's how the march got started. It sparked the march. But Bloody Sunday happened. We never got a chance to cross the bridge at that time. Then there was Turnaround Tuesday, where my brother and I was involved in Turnaround Tuesday, but of course Janet wasn't, because she at that time was still in the hospital. My dad, when she got out of the hospital, he brought her right back to join the march. We were able to sleep in Lawrence County in pastures where they set up tents. And, it seemed like it rained the whole way. We slept in the mud and all that, but we were kids. We were resilient, and we made it successfully.
It means a lot to me.
I'm just so happy to know that it will be some history and some true history.
The reason why there is an old history for African American women, anybody of color, is because it was forbidden. We were smart people, we were resilient, we wanted to do things, and a place like the park will show them, and other aspects of the movement will allow them to tune in and say, well, it was because of that.
I don't feel like the 1965 till now foot soldiers gets or got the recognition that they deserve. So if it's there in history, at least someone can see it and say, wow, this is what they went through to get me where I am today.
I'm very, very grateful for my involvement in this. I call it a revolution because it was more than a movement that changed the world. The struggle continues, however.